Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Pig for Life. Coming to you under the weather, but toughening out because I know you guys are excited, and I've already delayed one day. But I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet so I can go to sleep and try to recover from whatever it is I have. Non-COVID, so don't worry about that. So this is Fans Toys Dunerunner, a name change from Dune Rider, and this is their masterpiece styled beachcomber. As you can see a nice picture of him hanging out with the birds, his friendly birds. His alt mode picture here as well, without the silver alternate parts that we do get with him. He is FT 43, and that's really it for the box. He does have some information on the back here. The one thing you did notice here is that the bio here is actually still Warpass. It still says Kablam, Boosh, Bada Boom, Sheridan. So, yeah, so it happens. The other day I did a review of Mastermind Creations Volatus, and part of their box still had the name for their upcoming figure, their Brawl. Same thing with their stat card that they typically come with. Nice credit card style plastic. The bio is still for Sheridan. So he does come with a set of instructions. Mostly pretty good. You know, the one thing that I've always had problems with instructions is that they're all like snippets in time, right? And it's hard to keep track because sometimes they'll zoom in. One part of the transformation, it was confusing what the orientation is. But by and large, he's a pretty simple transformation. He comes styrofoamed in robot mode. Mostly robot mode. He has a small adjustment to get into complete robot mode. We'll just get rid of that. And let me scooch this down just a little bit. He does come with 3 sets of additional heads, so 4 total. And again, I apologize, I can't do anything about the lighting or zooming in due to YouTube's app. So you can see he has kind of a slightly frowny face, a super happy face, a straight face with like kind of a visor deco where he's doing some kind of analysis. I don't remember what that is about. And then he comes packaged with a small smile. So he has straight, small smile, very happy, and then the visor with the details. You may be wondering what these are for. These are for accuracy for the alt mode. The alt mode's supposed to have silver on the front where the Autobot logo goes. You can just tab these on here for robot mode if you'd like that. If you like that look to break up all the blue. I prefer to have it accurate, so we'll leave it like that. And then this solid piece is the same thing. It's just so that you have a solid piece and no split in the middle for alt mode. But we'll get to that. So as I was saying, he's packaged pretty much in robot mode. The only thing that I found on mine was 2 things. The backpack on mine, at least, wasn't completely pegged in. So you basically, if yours wasn't pegged in, you just have to make sure that these 2 pegs in this tab go straight into the backpack. Like so. The other thing was each of the arms actually does extend. You can see there's just a little extension here. Just grab hold. Don't grab the wheel. I wouldn't advise doing that. It is very sturdy, but you want to grab the shoulder itself and then pull. It is very, very tight, but it pulls out slightly. And it should have a pretty noticeable stopping point. There we go. And that way his arms look more proportioned. Really quickly, we'll do a 360. Hey, Professor D. Glad you can make it on time. So, quick 360. He does look very accurate to like the Sunbow animation model. I'll show that when I do my full review at some point. But what I will say is I think he looks really good, except that I think this white is just too white and like, I mean, it's shiny in a sense. There's metallic kind of flake into it, but I feel like they went to a color picker and put like FFFFF. You know, they just made it the whitest white, purest white you can get. I don't think it looks that good, to be perfectly honest. I would have liked it to be a little bit different, especially because this silver here is also it looks pretty dark right now, but if you catch it in different lights, it will look almost white. So to give you an example, here he is with his, like, I guess, closest counterpart. This is X-Transbot's Arcos. And while he is white as well, he's more of kind of an off-white or almost like an appliance white. I don't know if you guys know what that term is. Appliance white is like the appliances you have around your house. So it's not like super white, like as in white piece of paper white. It has a little bit of gray, a little bit of tone that I think creates a little bit more separation. I really would have liked that. To me, the color's the biggest detractor for me for this figure. But again, you can't satisfy everyone. The animation model that they show is super white. It's kind of like when people look at Optimus Prime and in the animation model and they say his thighs and hips are white or silver or whatever. It's just kind of up to the interpretation of the viewer, right? So here we go. Here's some comparisons with MP44, MP45, another recent Fans Toys release, which was Brawl. And as people have been saying, Fans Toys have been pumping out a lot of figures this year. They're doing smaller runs and they're trying to get to more figures. They have a huge backlog of figures that they've announced. And I kind of like that, but they are doing more like second runs at some point down the line, which I think is also nice, right? We just got Coot. So I think that's a really good idea. I think people are more interested in trying to get new figures instead of having a much larger run and then having only 1 or 2 releases a year. So I'm very happy with that actual change. And we already saw this comparison here, but just so you have it. As far as cleanliness of the figure, he's way cleaner, as you can see, than Arcos. So Arcos just has a whole bunch of crap on his back. It doesn't even look like he has a robot body, to be honest. A bunch of stuff just hanging out. You can see all sorts of stuff. So yeah, this is a much better cartoon accurate, and I would say a much better figure overall than Arcos. In terms of weight, people have been already asking about weight. Give me a second here to bring out my scale. I think I do prefer the blue here on him. It is metallic, and I've been questioning recently. I wonder if because a lot of this is die cast, like this whole section down here. I think most of the lower leg as a whole is die cast. I'm wondering if they're actually molding this in color as opposed to painting it afterwards. So I can't really tell. Because usually I would be concerned about one part of the transformation, there might be paint scrapage, but I haven't seen any, and that's what makes me wonder if they're actually like casting this in color. So anyway, he is 7.2 ounces compared to 3 ounces, so almost 2.5 times as heavy as Arcos. Sorry guys, I can't. I'm trying to do the review, so I'm missing a lot of the questions. I'll try to go back and answer your questions. I will say Arcos does come with a lot more accessories. He does come with that golden hand and some of those stuff, but I'm never going to use that golden hand. I think actually mine broke, if I'm not mistaken. I think on my review I talked about that. All right, so articulation. Well, he has a ball jointed head. While we're here, well, I guess we can show it. All you have to do is kind of pull up, and if I can do that, my hands are a little slippery. Fans Toys grease and all is very much in play here. You just pull it off. It's really not that hard. Like I said, my hands just a bit greasy. There we go. Yeah, so you just pop it back on. And all the head sculpts look really fine. So there's a ball joint at the head. He has a friction shoulder joint. Can go out this far. He has a bicep swivel. He has a 90-degree elbow bend. Only single joint, pinned. He does have a wrist swivel and MP-style hands. So all 4 fingers are molded together. One that's kind of bent out like this. And then a solid thumb. No articulation there. He does have a weird, I guess like a mid-torso crunch. You technically have to untab this to do it. You have to untab it, and then you also end up making a gap in the abs. I don't like this choice here. And you also have to end up untabbing it from here. So I think it's more just a convenience from transformation and not an actual thoughtful, purposeful ab crunch. I personally wouldn't count it as one, but to each their own. If they think that's good enough, that's fine. He has a really tight waist swivel. They can go 360. Same thing with the legs. The legs were super tight. You can see his hip skirts can kind of all fold up and to the side. There's one solid piece here. Some people complain about that. I also don't really like it, but whatever. These had to get loosened up quite a bit before they are where they are now. You get the thigh swivel. He does have double jointed knees. You can see one up here and one down here. You don't get a whole ton of extra for the double joints. You have barely more than 90 degrees if you use it, just because of how big the calves are. But it's nice that it's still there. Man, these comments are coming fast and furious. Sorry about that, guys. I'll try to get to them, I promise. All right, coming down to the lower leg, he has an ankle tilt and ankle rocker and a heel, I guess, toe tilt as a whole foot. And I already talked about thigh swivel. So yeah, that's it for articulation. He's very solid, as you would expect, Vans Toys. And as I said, he does have quite a bit of die cast. I don't know where all of it is, but I think like this whole backpack section here, I believe, is die cast. I think basically this whole piece and maybe most of the foot is die cast. I'm not sure about the thigh. The thigh might also be die cast, but he's very hefty for such a small figure. All right, so let's go into transformation. Like I said, the transformation is not too difficult. There are a couple of weird things and things you have to do in certain orders or something like that. I'll try to do my best, but I haven't had a whole lot of time to mess with them. So let's deal with the arms first. You're going to open up this panel. It's on a double hinge so that you can collapse it in, and you just close it, and then reverse what we did before by collapsing that joint. Same thing on this side. Open this up. Double hinge that in. There's a tab there. Make sure the wrists are kind of straightened out. You'll need to do that for later in the transformation. And once again, collapse that. You'll want to untab the neck panel and then pull up and out on this tab to bring it all the way out like this. We're going to fold this in. And then while we're here, we can fold in the head. You kind of want to tuck the head downwards. And it should clear. And it's going to it's still going to sit out a little bit, but you're not going to see it. All right, this section here, we're going to pull out. And this is the entire cage and seats, basically the whole interior of the buggy mode. This already automatically happened, but these two pegs were, as we showed before, part of the quote-unquote torso crunch. You want to untab that and extend it. You can see how it like telescopes out a bit. You want to extend that for now. All right. Essentially, the arms are going to come down to the side and peg in, like so. You'll see that square tab and the slot here. You kind of want to get this square. That's how they'll work. You can tab these in now or tab them in later. It really doesn't matter, but we'll just leave them out for now. All right, for the cage. This part's interesting. This is also this section here underneath is also on a double hinge. You kind of want to pull up like that to release it and out. You can see how it hangs out like this. While we do that, come to the back here underneath. Fold out these pieces. And that'll be kind of like the space fillers here when this comes back. This will rock back. Tab in to both sides. Somebody asked on TFW what these are made out of. This entire cage is metal all the way around. Very, very sturdy metal too. Like, I'm wondering what they made this out of. It feels like, I don't know if it's steel or what, but it's really, really sturdy. All right, so I'll go ahead and tab the arms in now. Sorry, I'm just clearing my throat. Now we're going to deal with the lower body. You're probably asking why I'm not cleaning this up yet. We actually can't do that. You'll see. We'll have to collapse this actually in. So if I connect this up, then you're just going to have to undo it later. So it's not like I'm leaving that incomplete. All right. So coming down to the leg, this is where most of the interesting transformation happens. This part, you want to lift up and open up the panel on the back of the leg, the calf. Come to the inner foot. This panel will untab here, flip around. This piece in the bottom will flip out to the side of the foot. This is where the instructions were not really clear because they just jumped to this weird angle. All the wheel, this headlight piece, and this panel piece, they're all on one armature. So what you want to do is basically just rotate the headlight piece out. There's a little groove here, and then you use the double hinge to bring the whole piece out to the side. That will give you the space to collapse the thigh in. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, some versions of him in robot mode do have this kind of like headlight stuff hanging out on the outside of his leg. So you can kind of recreate that if you want. By doing like this and then tabbing it back in. That is possible. I just totally forgot to mention that. But yeah, you can do that, but then his wheels stick out really, really far. But it is an option if you guys are really hard-pressed on that. So yeah, getting back to the transformation, you just want to release all that out. Same thing on the other side. So we'll release this, untab all two. I thought there were 4. 2 tabs here. I guess 2 tabs there. Open this. Rotate that around. Pull up on the headlight. And then that will give you the ability to use these set of hinges to get out onto the outside of the leg. And as you would expect, how this works is this folds up. Like so. Same thing on this side. Make sure the hip skirts are flat. Be very careful here. You want to make sure that you press in on the leg so it collapses in as far as you can. And then you can tab the 2 halves together. Like so. This will come around, tab in to the same tabs we had before. And these pieces that were hanging out, they're going to tab in here and complete the front of the buggy. So it cleans up really nicely. All right, these pieces are still hanging out. You got to keep them open for now. And as I said before, now we have to kind of get these collapsed and make sure, once again, that these hands are straight because they're going to have to sit into these grooves here that we flipped out. So using this, using the hinge that we have here, we just want to collapse this in as far as it will go. You'll see that there's, this might be hard with the lighting, but there's 2 sets of peg holes that correspond to these pegs here. So you want to use the double hinge to get this all the way in, and they should peg in by themselves. But then we can go ahead, put those up. We can flip up the seats. Coming down here, collapse these on themselves. Tight tab. And then, like I said, these are the parts that I thought might cause some scrapage. What you're going to do is rotate these back, and they're supposed to peg onto these little circular nubs here. And I was worried that there might be a lot of scrapage because of the way that it has to go on. It's hard to get it on because I think, at least for me, one side is not toleranced really well, so it doesn't want to stick on. And I thought there might be some scrapage, but yeah, no issues. So I'm wondering if it was cast in this color. One last thing to note is you can you're supposed to collapse these for alt mode, so you can see how it can extend and collapse. You just have to rotate it to a certain orientation to get it to extend. I actually keep it collapsed in both modes. I don't really think you need to have it extended in robot mode. I think it looks kind of weird. But But it's weird because you can collapse it in any orientation of this wheel, but you can only extend it in one. So you can only telescope it out when it's a specific orientation, and it's gonna be hard to explain. You just feel around for it, but you can collapse it in any orientation. But yeah, that's it for the transformation. Very simple, very satisfying. As I said before, you can go ahead and tab these two halves on and throw in an Autobot logo there. Or you can throw this giant piece on and throw a single Autobot logo there. So yeah, it will be a little bit of a panel that sticks up and out. But yeah, let's take a quick look. 360. Like I said, pretty clean. Very satisfying. Rubber wheels. Rolls quite well. No clearance issues. I thought there might be with these panels right here especially. The head, like I said, does bump out a bit, but you don't really have to worry about that too much. Oh. Yeah, we'll just get rid of that. We'll do some comparisons in alt mode. Here he is with Blue Streak and MPB, the original. Well, I guess this is the Red B. I don't think this is accurate in terms of scale for the alt mode, but you get the idea. It works quite well, I still. All right, so before I get back into robot mode and do that transformation, any questions on this guy's alt mode? All right, I'm trying to scroll back and look at least the last couple of these questions. Kato says, hey, Kato, good to see you again. Fantoy's making fun transformations lately. I know. We need birds. Yeah, it would have been nice to have birds, but again, I'm fine with how I'm fine with not having a whole bunch of accessories. Does it transform with the panels installed? Yeah, you can transform it with the panels installed. There's no issue with that. Yeah, there's no interference. Any bit breakage reported? I haven't seen any, but again, I've been kind of knocked out. Ask Toy Dojo if they've had any reports. I mean, this guy just landed yesterday, today, so even if Toy Dojo shipped out right away, most people probably won't have it. How does the plastic feel? Hey Memo, great to see you again. Hey T-Man. The plastic feels great. Nothing that you should be shocked about with Fans Toys. Their quality of materials has always been top tier. Is the top of the alt mode the front of the legs? Yes, this is the legs. You can actually see it here. That's the legs. So you can transform it with these panels on or off. So if you had these on and you put the Autobot logo in the accurate place, you would have upside down halves of the Autobot logo in robot mode. Oh, sorry, there is a gun. Where did the gun go? I don't know where the gun went. Sorry about that. There is a gun. Oh man, I don't know where the. Oh, sorry. Here he is. Sorry about that. Yeah, I must have dropped it. So yeah, he does have a gun. I'll show that how it works. It's not the rail system that we recently saw with Hunk. It's just really tiny tabs. Who was that mentioned the gun? I gotta give credit. Who? Brad Batley. Yeah, there is a gun. So yeah, the way that you install this is you open this to the back. You can see there's a little peg there. And there we go. Thanks, Crispy, for asking the question, and Brad for pointing it out. Any paint gouging like their Brawn? Paint gouging? I don't remember having any issues with paint gouging with Brawn, at least not mine. Do the back wheels extend out, I mean? No, the back wheels, they do not extend out as far as I know. Like, they don't show it in the instructions as far as I can recall, and it doesn't seem like they do. So the front, you can see it does, but, and they talk about it here, but the back, I don't think so. That's why they want you to collapse it in to make it kind of level, square. Otherwise, they would be sticking out and looking kind of weird to have the front wheels wider than the back. I did not break the gun, Toy Dojo. What's the QC number? My QC number is 32. Besides the roll cage, what else is metal die cast? I still function. I talked about that. Most of the leg is part of the back. I think this whole backpack section is. What else? Yeah, I mean there's a lot. You're not going to be short of die cast for sure. Show off the control panel of the vehicle. Sure. Let's take this out. Like I said, you do have the seats. And whatever these things were, I guess this was the engine. I don't really understand. But there is molded detail on the metal. In the control panel, you have the steering wheel, you have the shifter, you have some gauges, and yada, yada, yada. Crispy, he weighs 7.2 ounces. I don't remember how much Braun does. I don't know about... I don't have Daniel with me, but here's Spike. Oh, jeez. These minifigures suck. So yeah, that's him riding. I can't zoom in, as T-Man said. This is YouTube Live. They have no controls like zoom or anything like that. The best I can zoom is go like this, or like this. Physically get closer to the camera, and then the focus will usually mess up. Let's see. Does anything want to make you nervous? No, nothing makes me nervous on this. He's very solid. I think he's honestly kind of boring, to be honest. But then again, I think Beachcomber itself, the design lends itself to be kind of boring. This is the only thing on mine that doesn't secure all that well. Sometimes I can get it to stay on one side, but on the other side, this one's really solid. This side on mine, not so much. I don't know why. Like, every once in a while, I can get it to stick, though. Not a big deal. I like Warpath the most. So, Raichu Overlord asked, which do you like more, Hunk, Dunerunner, or Warpath? I still like Warpath the best out of all three of those. Jason, we've already shown this, but I'll go ahead and show it again. All right. Do the axles have anything springs? No. I would say I probably like Braun better than him, but again, neither of them were like super amazing. I think they're very solid, good figures. I would say they're good figures. Definitely the best representations. But smaller figures, I guess it's hard to really get super excited about them, I guess. And for me, neither of these characters are really that intriguing. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and start transforming him back into robot mode. Toy Dojo says Warpath scratches the most. Brewman, I've already mentioned, he does have rubber tires. He does sit flat. Rolls quite well. Chip has legs, though. Oh, yeah. Him or Arcos, I already mentioned that. I definitely prefer this guy over Arcos. Hey, you new Tabby. All right. So let's go ahead and get started on the transformation back. Very simple. We'll go ahead and... where are we going to start? So I guess we'll start with the cage. We got to open this up. We'll fold these down. Open this up. We got to come down here to loosen these panels first. And then again, we have to extend the midsections, double hinge mid joint. Am I missing something? No, I shouldn't be. You have to tilt this forward, tilt this back, and then, as I said, you extend that here. We just can leave it kind of loose for now. Untab these. We want to come to the front, bring these panels down, and then we're going to untab the calves again. Now we can just go ahead and fold out the legs and deal with them one at a time. So once again, we need to get these headlights in a position so that they can fold in. So you're going to kind of want to have them this way. You can't have them this way or anything like that. You want to have them like this. You're going to use this interior hinge to get it in this position. We're going to rotate that piece into the calf. Once that's done, we're going to use this set of double hinges to come back and tab those in here. This piece will fold in. These will come in, and this has a hooking tab right there. And this piece just folds and rests on the back. There's nothing to hold this one in place. It would have been nice if it was a little bit cleaner, but not a big deal whatsoever. And like I said, I keep this collapsed in. If you want, you can extend it out, but I think it's a lot cleaner. It doesn't flop around as much if you have it collapsed in. I don't even know why they even had that extending as an option. Same thing on this side. Use that double hinge to get in. Fold that headlight in. Tab in here. Fold in this side piece. Form the foot. Tab that in. And then we have the legs done. Bottom half complete. I also don't know why this exists. I don't see the point of it. It can flip around, but I see no purpose for it being this way or this way. I mean, maybe when it was like this, is it a gap filler? I'm trying to see if there's any reason why we would need this. Oh, maybe we would need this up. Maybe it's a gap filler? Here, give me a second. That might be the reason, but I could have sworn the instructions actually said to fold it up. I just want to check real quick. So they don't even mention it really. They do have it folded up. So yeah, maybe it's a gap filler if you want to keep this up. I'll confirm again when I do my full transformation, but as you saw, it really makes no difference whatsoever. Pull out the arms. We'll deal with them later. Go ahead and untab these sections, fold those in underneath. And we're going to use that set of double hinges to get it tucked in underneath, and they'll ever so slightly kind of get nudged in between the cage up front. So this sits all like that. Get the head panel tucked out underneath like so. Pull out this back panel. This will all rotate like so. And this piece, again, is kind of weird. This rotating piece is what fills in the gap for the abs. And I can never get mine fully like flush here. Like you can get it like this, but once I tab it in, it always kind of sinks in. Not a big deal, but just something to mention. And it's hard to get it all especially flush when you put the backpack in. So as you'll see here, that's tabbed in, but it creates that gap. So I don't know if there's some kind of finessing I can do to get that better, but I haven't been successful. This will tab into the back. And then as we showed with the arms, extend it. Open this panel, double hinge that out. Close it up. We're good. While we're here, we can go ahead and close the neck panel up for the head. We can do that later, but since I saw it, open this up, extend arms. There we are in robot mode. And since I forgot earlier, here he is with his gun. He does have, again, traditional MP style car style blaster with really tiny little tabs on each side. You just kind of want to scooch it in, push it in. It secures okay. Oh, sorry, the fingers got to go around. It secures very, very well. No issues with it, not loose or anything like that. So yeah, super clean. Transformation's okay. Nothing is like mind blowing about it. Like I thought Sheridan's transformation was really, really cool. This one is just pretty straightforward. The legs transform as you would expect, just because that's how the animation kind of drew it. They did a really good job getting all this to collapse in and look very clean. There's only a few things that you see hanging out back here, this stuff, but by and large, there's not a lot to complain about. Again, my biggest qualms with this guy are the white being just so white. I would have liked it to have a little bit, even a little bit of gray, or even have this gray be a little bit darker. As I said, depending on where you look at it in the light, it almost washes out. I just would have liked some more color separation as a whole. But yeah, very, very solid release from Fans Toys. I think you'll be happy with it. If you have any questions, we'll go ahead and take those before we call it a night. TM reviews Pagan his colors. Yeah. No Golden Fist. All his accessories are here. I'll bring them out. Here's his optional heads. You have 4 total. You got some alt mode optional parts. And again, you can put these if you want some style on his legs. Get some bling there. Here's his instruction manual. His messed up Sheridan bio for Dunerunner. And I think that's it. I didn't lose anything this time. All right, so how's this size compared to other Carbots? I showed that off earlier. Here he is with him. If you mean like a Carbot like a Lambo, give me a second. I didn't bring one of those. Here he is with one of the Lambos. I guess for more accuracy, we'll put him side to side. But he's tiny. He's not as tiny as Arcos, who we'll bring out again. And then again, MP44. I'm not going to do every single request for a comparison, but hopefully this is good enough for you guys. All right, so what are we looking at? Caleb says, hey, Peg, how's the size compared to other bots? There's your answer. Would you like to see a G2 version in green? G2 is ugly, no. I'm sure they'll do it, though. Off topic, has MMC sent you a brawl yet? No, they have not, but as I mentioned in my live stream and review, my review of Volatus, that is super close to shipping. Everything's ready. They're just working on packaging and including the extra ratchet replacements for Onslaught's shoulder, or I guess their Bruticus's shoulder in combined mode. Toy Dojo says, me too, I can't wait for a triple changer. Yeah, the Thomas is probably the figure I'm looking forward to most from Fans Toys as of late. Unique Heavy says, I forgot to pre-order Thomas or Astro Train. Yeah, you're going to be in trouble if you don't. I think that's going to be really a really nice figure from what I see. Especially the option to have both chests. I'm trying to get through these questions. We've had 167 at this point, people joining. I'm really happy that more and more people are joining these. I know it's usually because I get the Fans Toys stuff early, but the numbers have been going up higher and higher. So apparently, word's at least getting out. I appreciate you guys joining. We love it. Toy Dojo now always asks me for what I'm going to be doing live stream. They like to join in too. Where are your faction logos? I'm really lazy about faction logos. MS Robinson says G2 is ugly. Blasphemy. Yeah, G2 is pretty ugly. Come on, let's admit it. I mean, there are some hideous ones. MP Collector, how's it going? Did you order one of these? I don't remember seeing your name as one of my shipping lists. You probably bought it from somewhere else. Compared to Rectifin, Rectifin is not in a place that makes it easy for me to pick, so Darnell, you're out of luck. What about their Fort Max? Their Fort Max, I mean, that thing's just going to be so huge. I just don't know. I just don't know. I think it's gonna come in like 5 parts and it's gonna cost like $1 billion. So I mean, it's cool, but honestly, I'm not a huge Fort Max fan anyway. Jermaine's asked what's shipping soon. Toy Dojo responded Probus, which is MMC's or Ocular Max's Brawl. So last one. Hey Niles, good to see you again. Thanks for joining and complimenting. Raichu says, will you be reviewing Transform Element Phantom? Yeah, I think you mean Speedstar. Their Mirage. I do have that. Toy Dojo is waiting for their shipment. Transform Element. If you guys saw, they had assembly errors in the hips, so they halted shipments of those to some retailers once they caught that, and they went ahead and going to fix that before they sent it out. I haven't seen that FT Blitzwing is sold. Put what? Oh, John, I don't know if the Blitzwing is up for pre-order. Is it? Because I know they went back to the drawing board, design board with that. Hey, TM, Niles keeps saying hey to you, man. Quit ignoring him. He might have left. TM is getting his shipped out today, so he'll probably be getting it in a couple days. No doubt he'll be reviewing it, so head on over to TM Reviews to check his out once he gets his up. Sloppy seconds. It's not like I'm giving you mine. You're getting a brand new one. Relax. I think it's called Speedstar, right? I could have sworn the Transform Element was called Speedstar or something like that. The Mirage, that is. Toy Jojo did confirm Blitzwing is not up for pre-order. Man, I'm super behind on these messages. Okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, I think we answered all the questions. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other questions or comments, or you're catching this later on the rebroadcast once it goes live, go ahead and leave them in the comment section. I do love seeing your comments. I respond to almost all of them if they're questions or anything like that. And if I do see them before my full review, I'll try to incorporate any of those into the review as well. Maybe some comparisons. Did you say MMC Brawl is shipping before Blastoff? No, Blastoff is already out. Blastoff is already out. I did a review of him. Where is he? Here he is. I did a review of him. He's available from retailers, Toy Dojo, and so forth, obviously. But Brawl is going to be... Brawl is going to be shipping very soon. Thanks, Pay. Congrats on the 7,000 plus. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. John, thanks for stopping by. All right, fantastic. Again, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I was able to tough it out because I really enjoyed doing these live streams. For those of you who are concerned and has shared their well wishes for it with me, it's nothing serious as far as I can tell. I'm pretty sure it's strep, so I should be over it in a couple of days. Eddie Powell does suggest if you guys like these, make sure to subscribe or hit the notification so you get notified when these are coming up. I do have a couple of other things that I will be reviewing soon. I'm really late to a couple of figures like the Studio Cell. I just got that from Toy Dojo today or yesterday in the same package. The deluxe edition of Freedom Leader, that was my most anticipated figure as of late. It took a long time for the deluxe version to come out, so I just got that. I know a lot of reviews are out on that already, so maybe I'll just do a live stream of that just to go over that, but I'm excited to open that. Toy Dojo wants me to do Studio Cell, but I heard it's kind of a pain to do, so we'll see. Based on what T-Man showed in his review, it doesn't look super fun to transform, but we'll see. I have something too. I hope it's not COVID. John, best of luck to you. I got tested, got the results in like 2 days. It was negative, so good thing. Studio Cell comparison, do it. Oh, man. Pressure. Professor D says Eddie at Toy Dojo hasn't sent him his Volatilus. What's good, man? Hey, Professor D, what coast are you on? If you're on the East Coast, we can you'll probably get a ship from me. Oh, I have more than 7,000 subs now. Awesome. I didn't realize that. thanks. I know I'm not doing as many reviews as I used to. I've been kind of slowing down, but I'm doing a lot more live streams, and I think that's really been going to be my go-to. Did MGO do a Freedom Leader review? I have no idea. I know that TM Reviews did, so go check that out. But yeah, that's all for today, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch it on the upload if you guys missed it or coming in late. And I'll go ahead and do a full HD 1080p 60 frames per second full review once I'm starting to feel a little bit better. So thanks a lot, everyone. Hope you have a good one.